Professor Yunus, a very warm welcome from India to this interview on a very, very tumultuous day in Bangladesh politics. Sheikh Hasina has resigned as Prime Minister and has left the country after almost a month of bloody protests over quota in government jobs. Sir, what are your first reactions to this turn of events? Happy,
It is an
sad,
enormous,
relieved?
it's an enormous occasion. It's a fantastic occasion. It's a kind of joy of liberation. We are enjoying the second round of liberation, get rid of the operations and the misrules of a particular person, Sheikh Hasina. So the whole country is rejoicing. So that's, you see millions of young people on the streets celebrating. It's just like the way we did in when we had liberation from Pakistan.
Isn't it ironical that her father, Bangabandhu, had liberated Bangladesh in 1971, and the daughter, when she is gone, Bangladesh feels like it has been liberated again. I mean, the irony, I guess there is rich irony in this. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's probably her own creation, the way she did it. She can't blame anybody else for that.
There were visuals of, certain people, a mob, climbing onto the Bangabandhu statue, I guess in Dhaka, and trying to dismantle it, etc. I mean, do you think that that is carrying things a bit,
But again, I would say it is a creation of Hasina, how angry people are, the things that she has done. Now everybody else around her get the punishment for that. So it is a creation of over many years of misrule, terrible way she treated people, sent people to jail, sent people to disappearances, all kinds of things, and a massive corruption. Nobody can say anything. She is the only person, only voice, only narrator.
Yeah.
So people feel relieved that this happened, and everything which is associated with her is condemned, is destroyed.
Correct. Sir, what next? Who will run the country? What does the Constitution say?
I'm not a constitutional expert. I could not answer that question, but we are all happy that she's gone. Now we can start from the scratch.
Will there be, I mean, is there a chance of a bipartisan sort of interim government of politicians and professionals?
The way I have been pleading during this period, that the best thing to go back to democracy, which she destroyed completely, have an election as fast as you can, and a transparent election, not the kind of funny elections she has held, make-believe elections kind of thing for over years and years. So let's go back to what democratic elections are all about and do that. And in order to do that, best solution is, of course, a caretaker government. A non-political caretaker government is in our constitution. She removed it from the constitution. Let's put it back into the constitution, have that back to the democratic process that we established. So that everybody feels that he or she could express his or her own opinion about the candidate, about the policies, about the things to be done. Not like one person decides everything for the whole nation, which she did.
Yeah. So you think that does the Constitution still allow, even after she amended it?
It doesn't, because she scrapped it. She campaigned for it and got it approved, got it passed by the legislature, and got the amendment in the Constitution. When she came into power, immediately she scrapped it. So now there must be a step to put it back so that we can have a caretaker government, whatever other legal means you be. But my idea, at least in a kind of I'm not familiar with all the legal steps to be taken, but I'm saying that we have this concept, accepted this concept. Let's follow that concept. Create that caretaker government, and let the caretaker government hold the election, and whoever is elected to the government, let them run the government.
For now, who's in charge? The army?
I'm not familiar with the latest situation. Things are changing very fast. I know that the army chief has addressed the nation. What is the content? And I am not familiar.
Right. So I'll be blunt. There is a lot of speculation, not just in Bangladesh, but across the world. And there has been a speculation, for some time now that you could be one of the candidates to sort of guide Bangladesh, in this crisis as PM or, head of a caretaker government, etc. But the cons of this, people who list it say that one, age is not on your side. Two, you are seen too close to the American Democratic Party. You're a friend of the Clintons and Obamas. India's ruling dispensation may see you as someone too close to the Gandhi family. And the other concern is that you are probably too disconnected with Bangladesh domestic affairs to build a political consensus. Sir, how do you respond to that?
Well, I cannot answer that question. People who are saying that they have to answer the question. My position is very clear. I was invited to head the government in 2007, and I declined. I didn't accept that. I said, I'm not the guy. Pardon me?
Why did you decline?
Because I said, I'm not a politician. I just work for people in my own way. I don't go into debates and discussions. Whatever I like, I try to do it people who are willing to do it. So this is how I kind of presented myself all along. I considered myself as a non-political person, and I continue that. So if somebody is saying you should be it, they should be clarifying all those things.
I agree. And if suppose again that kind of a proposal comes to you, does Bangladesh necessarily need a politician at this point of time, or somebody who's sort of who's bigger than that? Would you?
It's a crisis of trust. The whole thing Hasina did is a total failure of the trust. So nation will be looking for someone who they can trust.
Correct.
So there are options. Maybe there's a list of people that people said this, we trust him or trust her to run the country. So let them do that.
If a request comes to you, would you consider?
I'll explain my situation. I try to convince them.
Would you consider the thing, or would you still decline?
It depends on what they're talking about. I don't know the details of what they're. This is a hypothetical question. I cannot answer that question.
Yeah. Okay. Professor Yunus, in the recent quota protests, officially they're saying over 200, 300, but many quarters say that over 1,000 lives have been lost. And this is not the first time. We had seen a similarly bloody student agitation in 2018 also, Bacha Andolon that happened after this thing. So what are the factors that have brought Bangladesh to this kind of a situation, this edge?
Failure of democracy. She didn't hold any election. She just make-believe election, called herself elected. And India supported it enthusiastically. So she felt bold enough to stay in power for years and years. And people were very, very disgruntled. Bangladesh has a population of 170 million people. 2/3 of the population are young people. So this is a country of young people. And these young people never had a chance to vote for the first time in their life. They should have 3 chances of elections. None of them. They had a chance to go and vote for the person to be elected at their choice. So you removed all those people from that. So there are no connectivity with the government and the people and so on, particularly young people. They want to see world and they want to see the life in a country that they feel comfortable with. And that was denied to them. So all these things kind of joined up, the failure of democracy, and corruptions, and also mismanagement, misrule, all together created the situation.
So since you mentioned India, see, India's, as I understand, India's main reason for supporting Sheikh Hasina was that it feared a BNP Jamaat coalition close to ISI, which would fan Islamic extremism, persecute minorities, and maybe eventually also tilt towards China, maybe. So these are broadly, these have been India's concerns. I'm not saying that India is, right, wrong, whatever, but, from India's point of view, these are the things that were probably top of the mind.
Okay.
So do you see in this vacuum, do you see a kind of extremist government or a extremist regime coming up in Bangladesh? And
Yeah.
are India's concerns completely baseless?
Yeah. See, in democracy, you have to let everybody participate in the democratic process. If you say you are this bad, you are this reason you're bad, there'll be no political party. There's extreme right party in the United States. Even Trump-like person elect and say things. They say this is enemy. We should not talk to the Trump. It doesn't happen. And if you hear the voices around him, you'll immediately level something very nasty about it. But he is a presidential candidate, and everybody has a right to explain what he or as a candidate, as a politician, feels. So if you can start doing that, we are nowhere. There's no politics left. So I would say in this case, India was very wrong. Kind of put the prism and say, you are this, you are that, so we don't want to see any power. We want to make sure you have no right to do that. It's internal politics of Bangladesh. They have every right to express their voices. They can be terrorists if they want to. The people will judge, we don't want to vote the terrorists, and the law will take care of the terrorists. Why should somebody else from external world come and say that this is a terrorist? You should not allow them to do that. That's not a fair thing to do. So I said democratic process has to be very transparent, that everybody has a right to express their views. Only if you violate the law, only then it becomes a legal issue that you violated the law. Expressing views is not illegal. Even if you say extreme views, it's okay, it's illegal. It's not illegal, it's a legal thing. You have to express views. As long as you follow the law, you are completely free to do that. That's democracy. That
As
was
long as
not a
you don't start acting on it, yeah.
exactly. You don't
Yeah.
violate the law. That's it. If you violate the law, try him. Catch him.
Do you think there have been, I mean, Army League, of course, has been consistently saying this, but there are others also who say that while the protests started with, as genuine student protests, but, elements from Jamaat, etc., also certain Western agencies, etc., got into the entire movement and stoked violence and also incited bloodshed, etc. Do you agree, sir?
No, I don't. I don't. This is a story told by Hasina. She makes up all kinds of stories to justify all the things she does. And India kind of swallows all those explanations. So I don't believe in at all.
Okay. And there has been a strong anti-India feeling in Bangladesh now. Is it because India has been, there's been a India out campaign only this year after the elections? There was a campaign in Bangladesh known as India Out. And, Jamaat's IT cell, Bashir Killa, etc., they have been amplifying it. So, why has this happened? Is it only because India is seen as supporting, say, Sheikh Hasina blindly?
Basically, that's it. Because you supported someone who everybody hates. So they make up all kinds of things because you are supporting, encouraging, you are promoting in every single way. So you became on the hate side. So people came up with all kinds of ideas to hate you because you are the focus. Now you saw how eruption of anger has taken place. It's not a fake thing; it's a real thing. It's nobody hired a kind of a company to create a demonstration against Hasina. It's not like that. It's a spontaneous thing. Young people coming from all directions, millions of them, not just few, millions of them everywhere. So you are supporting the person who is hated by everybody. So you are hated in the process. And they make excuses why I have to hate India. So all these things you explain is only an outburst of the hatred that you have created for yourself. You have extremely wrong policies towards Bangladesh is concerned. You have to review the whole Bangladesh policy. This is my urge. India is a friend. I have lots and lots of friends, like you have lots of friends in Bangladesh. So
Yeah.
we defied all those things just by supporting someone who is extremely hated for her own work, own the thing. They're destroying everything that she has touched because she's hated. So it will continue. Because that expression of hatred that accumulated over years, it will continue. You cannot stop until people finally relieve that, yes, it's done. We have expressed ourselves. So I hope India will review the policy, have a friend, and say nice things. When you see nice things, it's bad things, you say bad things. We are friends. We are in the same family. It's a SARC family.
Yeah. So personally, how do you view Narendra Modi's leadership?
Well, I don't want to make any comment because this belongs to your territory.
As part of the SARC family, how do you view his leadership?
He's providing the leadership. We've worked with it. We have no problem. At least I don't have any problem with it. I've met him many times.
Yeah.
We have good chat, good discussions, and he admires the work that I do. So far as personal relationship is concerned, it's a beautiful relationship. He invited me to speak to his officials, ministers, many times. So he admires me. We speak in the same conference together in India.
Yeah.
So it's a very good relationship, very warm relationship.
How big is the economic challenge facing Bangladesh now?
It's terrible. The mismanagement of economy is so high that today one of the big challenges will be how to fix the economy that is in tatter.
I believe forest reserves are pretty bad now.
They're very bad.
What would be your solutions to bring Bangladesh out of this economic mess immediately?
Get back to work, real work, not a fancy thing with the corruption. It's full of corruption. You see, if on the top you show the economy which is running and so on, in the bottom is all corruption. People are minting money by corrupt practices and so on. It's even the head of the army is involved, making big money for himself and his family. Head of the police is involved, making an ugly amount of money by just using his position. Down the line, even the office peon makes millions of dollars, and it's in the newspaper. And there, every step of the way, corruption's filled with everything. People know there's a good reason why people are so mad at the whole thing. They're now celebrating on the street, jumping around, making it a second liberation, real liberation, that we are free from a monster.
And do you think your microfinance model would still be relevant now in the country?
Microcredit is all about fixing something which was done wrong. Banking system doesn't serve the people at the low income level. We're saying it can be done. All we did is to demonstrate that it can be done. So wherever this is missing in the banking system, it will be relevant, because the banking system always lends money to people who have lots of money. And it doesn't lend money to people who don't have money. So it's not only Bangladesh. We do the same thing in the United States. United States, we have done in America. We have lent out over $1 billion last year. This year, it will be coming close to $2 billion. And next year, over $2 billion. And with perfect result, and people who will never be able to take $1 out of any bank in the whole financial system. So we give them billions of dollars, and they pay us back. And it works, it expands. We work in every major city in the United States. So it's not the question of Bangladesh. It's a question of the system of financial structure, how it works. It works the same way, whether you are in the richest country, whether you're in the poorest country, it doesn't matter.
Right. It is, yeah, it's also worked in US, I believe.
Oh, yes, very much. That's what I'm saying. In the US program, I'm saying in the US, in America, it's called Come in America. It lent out last year over $1 billion. This year, it will be coming to close to $2 billion in loans that we'll be giving to the poor people. And over 10 years, we'll be giving $40 billion in the next 10 years. So that's the kind of size nationwide program that it runs in the United States. Point I'm making is not the situation of poor country or rich country. Rich country doesn't need this, poor country needs it. France has a nationwide program in France. UK has a program. So rich countries have programs everywhere because the rich countries don't have the ability to bring the finance to the poor people. They are happy to give the free money from the government called welfare finance. I said welfare is a wrong idea. That's not what make people energized to do things for themselves. So why don't you open up the door for the finance so that every young person can become an entrepreneur? I said all people are born as an entrepreneur. Job is a tradition of slavery. We shouldn't go to that slavery tradition. We let the energy of the young people, energy of the newborn, to go and touch the sky. That's what he or she is born.
Professor Yunus, then there's one elephant in the room when it comes to Indo-Bangladesh relations, that is China. From Padma Bridge to Belt and Road Initiative to ports, power plants, etc. Bangladesh has been increasingly relying on China. Is it advisable for Bangladesh's economy and autonomy?
That's Hasina's activity. I should not come and defend Hasina's whatever relationships with. Her only interest is to get money from everybody so that she can waste this money in her project, whatever project she wants to have, and make a lot of money out of these projects. So it's what is the right kind of project, right kind of economic system that has to come from the really people who represent the wishes of the people.
But Chinese money has been really problematic. I mean, has been harmful for economies like Sri Lanka and certain African countries, etc. So, would Bangladesh?
Hasina went ahead a few days back to China to bring $5 billion from them, and she was very mad when she came back because they didn't give it to her.
Yeah, so, she came back in a half. Yes,
absolutely. It was very hard because the Chinese refused to give her the money. So that's her way of doing things. What I'm saying that it's when you design an economy, you have to be selective what is good for your interest and what is not good for your interest. So you choose your partners, economic partners who do that. She had no such concern. She think I can get the money, let's get the money. Who will repay? That somebody else will take care of. And she has accumulated a huge amount of loans, international loans. And she doesn't bother.
Yep. So my last question would be, coming back to India, what's your vision for Bangladesh and India relations? What can India do to address the growing public sentiment against it in Bangladesh? There is no denying that there is anti-India sentiment in Bangladesh. What do you think could be done from both ends, from Bangladesh and India, to take this, because we will be neighbors forever. I mean, we can't choose.
You can't change that. You can't change that. So all I'm saying that the way we are together, so close to each other, we can be the best of friends.
Right.
This is what we should be, the best of friends, and treat each other as friends. And we could be worse of enemies if you treat us all the other way. So let's try to make ourselves the best of friends. And we deserve it. We have so much common between two countries. Why become enemy of each other? What is the reason? It makes no sense to me at all. Simply bad policies.
Yeah. Would you be heading for Dhaka now?
In a few days, yes.
Okay. Professor Yunus, I won't take any more of your time. Thank you for giving me this time for this interview. Thanks for joining, and wish Bangladesh peace and prosperity going forward. And
let's work together. That's the theme. That's the mission. Bangladesh and India should work together. We should be the best of friends and be tall to the world. This is how we work together.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you.